record. We are discussing grievance related topic. Grievance handling process and procedures. Then we have discussed the meaning, the process, the types of grievance, and the source of grievance. These are slides are like familiar with you. You have seen it. We can go through once, then we'll continue with the same topic. One keyword I was telling that dissatisfaction. Grievance means dissatisfaction. We remember this keyword. Grievance handling is the management of employee dissatisfaction. If someone is dissatisfied due to the employment, salary, environment, it could be anything, then how the management is managing, tracking, redressing, all these are coming under grievance management. And grievance handling procedures. Some company, what they follow, what are the popular mechanism to follow. We'll also read the impact and what impact, what effect is bringing this grievance to the organization. We'll read that. And what are the source we discussed, and we further deep down that topic. Then what are the process we discussed? We'll also go through the some of the popular process, what companies are following. We'll see that. First, you understand the meaning of grievance. Meaning means any formal or informal complaint. If someone is not happy or anything, if a person is complaining against the management, against the supervisor, that is grievance. What are different types of grievance? Grievance may come individually. The source of grievance, how they are forming, how they are coming. The type of grievance is mainly into three types: individual grievance, group grievance, and policy grievance. Individual grievance is what is coming from the individual person, that is the main source of grievance, who is affected, who is complaining, that is individual grievance. Group grievance, as a group, everyone is complaining. So that is coming from the entire group of people. Policy grievance, any request, any demand to change the policy, change the rules of the company, that is policy. That means the grievance is coming from the policy. These are the three major source of grievance. So if company is understanding that the policy is the culprit, so people are not happy with the policy, then that is the source. Then company should think and spend time on policy, how to revive and change the description. These are the things. So these are the three main source of grievance. Then we also understood what is causing the grievance. Cause of grievance. It could be salary, it could be working condition, wages, workload, personal problem, a problem with your supervisor, with manager, with your lead, So this could be the cause of grievance. That means suppose a person is not satisfied with the policy or is not satisfied with the working condition, the environment, or not satisfied with the salary, workload. Workload is you are getting more work what you can do. So always the workload is more than you. So that is one cause of grievance. Problem related to supervision. Suppose you are not happy with the person who is monitoring you, who is supervising you, your supervisor, your manager. You are not happy, so there is something, some problem between your supervisor and you. So that could be one cause of grievance. So these are the different cause of grievance. We discussed that. We also discussed what are the steps, what companies are doing to redress a grievance. So what are the procedure they are following? So these steps we discussed in a high level, but there could be a lot of activities while doing that. Suppose step one, you have to acknowledge, you have to understand the grievance. So when a person is complaining, what is that complaint? Why that person is complaining? You may need series of discussion, meeting, survey, calling the people, understand the system. So there are a lot of things just in the step one, just to understand the issue. So the person is complaining about a machine. So what is that machine? What is the productivity of that machine? How can be produced? If you give a new updated machine, how it is helpful? What your competitors are doing? So there are a lot of discussion, a lot of analysis you have to do to address, to understand the grievance. So that means the procedure is important when you are addressing or redressing a grievance. And this kind of things are different companies are following differently based on their capacity, based on the degree of grievance, what is the problem, what complaint is coming. So based on a lot of factors, so companies are addressing. So what I'm trying to say in a slide, you can see there are 5 levels. So you will acknowledge, then you will understand what is the problem. You will define what is the problem. Problem with the machine, suppose. The complaint you got from the machine, problem with the machine. Then the fact, you have to get the actual fact, then analyze and decide. You have to take the decision, you have to analyze, you have to replace the machine or repair the existing machine, whatever maybe. And you have to follow. So while doing all these things, each section you have, each steps you have lot of activities, lot of steps, lot of work to do. It's not just you complete one process, then go to the next, then go to the next, like that. You have to understand and make use of all process by different steps, different activities, then you can complete. And different companies, they follow differently, I said. Suppose these are the methods or different action they do in different company. Exit interview, grip box interview. Grip box system is like the complaint box you have seen in some organization, opinion survey, meetings, open door policy, step ladder policy. These are different mechanism, different tools used by different company. Exit interview is if a person is leaving, so you try to collect all the information from that person. Anyway, the person is leaving, but you will tell what is the problem in the department, in the other employee. So you can tell, but that is one tool for you to understand the people issue. Gray box system is complaint box system. So you install a box somewhere. So if someone has a problem, they can write it and put it there. So on a certain frequency, every day or every week, you collect that box and understand the problem and address it. Opinion survey, you ask the people directly, kind of survey. Suppose how the system is working. You have made a policy change, so everyone is affected, impacted. So you are asking the people directly what benefits they are getting with that policy change. So that is one tools to address the grievance. Meeting. You are calling the people and asking them, you are organizing the meeting. It could be one owner, it could be a meeting with the team, it could be a general meeting, the town hall meeting for the entire employee. So it depends on the issue. Suppose one person has complaint about one issue. So you don't need to address that to everyone because others are not having that issue. So you can have a meeting with that person to address that or what you are working, what else you need to do that. So that kind of meeting you can arrange with that person. Or a issue is related to everyone in the team or the organization. Based on that, you arrange a meeting. Open door policy, step ladder policy. These two are different tools. Again, open door policy. Open door policy means whenever you are open to talk a person regarding your problem. Suppose you have a problem with your work environment, with your salary, or with your product, or with your personal problem, you can simply go to your supervisor or manager or CEO or whoever, your higher authority, and talk to them your problem. So that is open door policy. That means you are allowed to talk a senior person at any time. That person is not restricting himself or herself. So you are allowed to discuss and talk. So that is open. And most of the times this is applicable or suitable for a small organization. Why I'm saying small organization? Because in small organization, everyone is aware and known to each other. You know who is your boss, or your boss knows who are the workers. So people are familiar or known to each other. So in that case, you can open up a lot of things. You can go and knock the door of your supervisor because you are a worker. You can talk to your person freely. So that is good in small organization. And what is step ladder policy? As the name says, step ladder policy is step-by-step process. Suppose you have a problem, you are speaking with your immediate supervisor. Then he has a timeline, he is not resolving, suppose, then you are escalating to his supervisor, your supervisor. That means if still not able to solve the problem, then his supervisor. You are always going one step beyond, one step ahead. If problem is not solved, if problem is solved, then fine. You are going to stop there itself. But if it is not solved, you are going one by one step ahead to the next level. So that is step ladder policy. Form of grievance, why grievance is coming, what are the different types, this is something we discussed. Suppose some grievance, some nature of grievance, you can say. Some grievance is based on some data, some facts. So that is factual grievance. Factual grievance arises when a legitimate needs of the employee remains unfulfilled. That is, wage hike has been agreed but not granted. So that is a fact. Something you are told to give, but it's not given. That is based on some facts, factual grievance. Imaginary grievance is something which is based on some perception, some imagination. You think, but that is not the truth. Whatever you think something will happen, a miracle. Based on that thought, you are complaining, but that is not a practical thought. You are not supposed to think, or you are not assuming something. So that is imaginary grievance. You imagine something. Discussed grievance, wherever you are not aware of something that you are not happy. Suppose you are working in an organization, but you are not getting a proper job satisfaction. You are not happy. So what does it mean? You are not happy means it will impact with lot of things. So you will complain, but you don't know why you are not happy. Maybe you have not got the proper training, or you are not liking the work, or you have some problem with the family, or you have problem with the transportation, whatever may be, but you are not happy. So that is, you are not are able to work with your full potential. Whatever you are supposed to do, you are not able to do. So that kind of complaint or grievance is called disgust grievance. These two type of grievance we discussed: open door policy and step ladder policy. So there is a diagram related to, it's very much related to step ladder policy, but that is a general convention, general procedure to address the grievance. Agreed employee means who is impacted, who is not happy. Dissatisfied employees, aggrieved employees. Then, if not solved, if he has a problem, he will report or he will complain to the department representative, the immediate supervisor. If immediate supervisor is not able to solve, then it will go to head of the department, who is heading the department. Then it will not solved, then there is a committee. Then there is a chief executive manager. Then chief executive manager, who is the head of the company, CEO. All the chief director, operation manager, or executive officer, these are all top level officers. Then if it is not solved, then you go to the arbitration, the court process. You go to the legal process. So all these till this point, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these 5 points are within the organization. So there is a timeline for each steps. If it is not solved, then the next procedure is you will go to the court. This is a general procedure of grievance. This thing we already discussed in the second slide, I think. There are different steps, but grievance procedure, step ladder policy. What I was showing in this process, this is something similar to the step ladder policy. It looks like a ladder, you see. There are different steps. That is the reason it was named as step ladder policy. So every time if something is not working with you or you are not happy, so you are going one step above to that person. Basically, you are escalating. You are going one step ahead if your immediate step is not able to solve your problem. And we'll discuss the impact of grievance. And once the grievance is identified or people are not happy or reported, then what it's impacting, how it is impacting on the organization, we'll read. Then we'll also read the benefits of this system. What are the different benefits the system, having a grievance system in place? So this concept will continue as part of this discussion. Then we have couple of concept theory that we'll read tomorrow. Today we'll read the impact. We'll take a break. After break, 5 minutes we'll join. Then we'll read the impact of the grievance system. We'll meet in the same link immediately after 5 minutes, maximum by 5 minutes.